Hello, I just got back from dropping Boo Boo off at daycare. I walked him today and I haven't gotten ready or anything, but I had to shoot this video when it was feeling like I have to do it now and get all of this out. I've been sharing, life with baby and all this stuff. God, it was so clear in my head when I was like walking. So I want to do something. I want to challenge myself to do something pretty like crazy. Maybe it's not crazy, maybe it's courageous. I don't know. And I feel like I got a message from the universe to do this while I was on my walk. And I was very calm this morning, very clear-headed. And yesterday I was actually very frustrated. So I felt like it was like the storm, and then the morning after the storm, everything was like, First, I feel like I need to share something about the last few years, which is that it's been very difficult for me. In many ways, having a child, not knowing what to do about having children, making a very conscious, embodied decision to have one and then having one, and it all went very smoothly. That is like the biggest plus of the last few years. But other than that, I think it's been fairly difficult, not just for me, but for everybody, I think globally, with COVID since 2020. And then we had the period of the summer of 2020, the racial reckoning, if you will. And that really jolted me and put me in a space where I started to kind of abandon my spirituality or abandon my spiritual practices. I think the combination of those two events, the standstill and pause and the lull of COVID that lasted a long time, I tapered off from meditation and all that kind of stuff once summer 2020 happened. And I think I still carry quite a lot of guilt from sort of just all the things I learned during that time. It really messed up my approach to social media in a lot of ways. And I feel like then I had a baby, then I grappled with having a baby, then I had a baby, then I was pregnant. A car crashed through my house. So I was displaced right before baby came. Then I had baby. Then relationship was on the outs, and that was hard. And then then I had a breakup. A very traumatic event happened regarding that, and then my dad passed away, and basically here we are. And I've been trying to come back to life post baby, get back into hot for food and work, but it is just not there, and it's very hard to feel like I should be motivated and inspired by having a child and wanting to provide for that child, but everything is just it's too heavy, and it's too much weight, and it's just and none of the spirituality feels reliable to me at this point, or it's kind of stopped feeling that way, and everything feels very dull. And I've done other things to sort of combat this depressive period of my life, which has been a few years now. So and all that to say, I'm also at the same time, and I always have to I feel like I have to justify myself, I'm also doing very well in many ways. I'm somebody who doesn't let challenges break me and make me just collapse to the floor. I rise to the occasion. I believe that they're for my greater good, so I keep going forward, but it's just been difficult. So I'll leave it at that. But the point of me sharing that part is that I had this message today, kind of a fun, creative challenge for myself to get back to what I know to be true. And what I know to be true is a lot of the stuff that I talked about before COVID, before the racial reckoning time period, before this weird period, this darker period of my life. The kind of manifestation stuff, the spiritual tools, the meditation. I have proven that stuff does work. And when I stopped doing that stuff for fear of how people would view me, for fear that it all just comes from racial privilege, for fear that it just comes, there's all these things that I was reassessing. When I stopped doing all this stuff, things went I'm going back to what I know to be true. And I felt, or I feel, or I'm told the way to do this is to go back to what I know works. And so I want to create something called 30 Days of Delulu. Now, Delulu means delusional. And if you haven't seen that on TikTok or the internet, that's what it means. I think it's pretty funny. And I, every day for the next 30 days, starting October 1st, I'm going to post on social media as though certain things that I want to happen have already happened. This act as though is your manifestation tool to call in the energy of the things you actually want to manifest in physical reality. And I actually feel like social media in the past, and I've always believed this since I've been using social media for over a decade, it's a very powerful tool in the magnetizing of this energy. I actually think the algorithm and the AI technology and everything is kind of like wrapped up in our brains at the same time. Like, it is us and we are it. And so I feel like posting on social media and doing 30 Days of Delulu is actually a very like powerful way to call in that energy. 30 Days of Delulu, a manifestation exercise. I am starting it. You're welcome to join me. I'm going to be posting as though certain things have already happened. Call it a leveled up vision board, if you will. Because then I will have like this visual representation on Instagram of these things and a literal vision board, and it's actually in the technological system. This is what the universe has told me to do. I'm skeptical. I'm at a place where I don't believe in this shit anymore. Like, I'm kind of like, I have so much resistance. I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do it, blah, blah, blah. But the last week or so has been me grappling with this, talking about it in therapy, talking about it with my friends, talking about it with acquaintances who I've magically run into. And I guess it's all culminated over the last 5-6 days to now this message I received in a very clear, like in a period of clarity during this walk today. So when I get these messages, I listen, and I'm still listening and my intuition is there. It just hasn't been getting practiced or utilized or like sort of cranked up enough. So now I'm going to do it. I'm going to listen and I'm going to do it. And I'm scared. I'm scared of losing followers. I'm scared of looking like a delusional moron. I'm scared of it not working. I think maybe I'm even scared of it working. I think there's a lot of stuff here. So yeah, I think this is going to confuse a lot of people on social media, but I have to not care. Those of you who know what's happening, feel free to rah me along and leave comments as though it's true. So feel free to join along, post with me your manifestations on Instagram as though, speak as though, and like write the description and take the photo or whatever you're posting as though these things have happened, are happening now. We'll see how this goes. I think if anything, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing happens. Maybe I lose some followers. I think the more positive thing that could happen is maybe there's a ripple effect and it helps people. Either way, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this as an exercise for me to get out of such a deep, sticky, muddy, messy slump that I feel I'm in internally. I have to counteract it with something just as radical. And I think that this 30-day challenge is it, because it exposes me. It makes me feel vulnerable. I'm afraid to do it. It's actually crazy. And I actually think it's going to help me get back into liking social media more. Like, when I think about actually doing this, I feel like I'm going to have fun trying to come up with the content to post and actually think about what I do want. I know there's a few things I want, but 30 things, like every day for 30 days, that's really hard. Also wanting to get motivated and get some momentum again behind being a creator. I feel like I've been questioning, is this something I still even want to do? What is the point? Why am I doing it? I've lost a lot of that, and I've become wrapped up in the bullshit and the comparison and actually just the doom scroll, not even doom scrolling, but just scrolling and consumption, especially since I started on TikTok. And I don't really think it's healthy for me. So I actually think this will bring some new energy to being on social media that will be more productive. And it's kind of me doing what I can with what I have right now. I haven't been getting any paid gigs. It's been actually really tough. Literally nobody I don't know, things are falling through, people don't get back to us, blah, blah, blah. I've heard that this is not just happening to me, that this is kind of the creator influencer space across the board, but it's made me just be like, I don't know if this is sustainable. But it's like, why am I posting on social media if all I want is to make money? It's like, sure, we all need money, but let's just focus again. The manifestation comes when you don't focus on that, and you don't focus on the hows, you just focus on the big picture and the details of that and what it feels like. And I can already sense that the feeling is going to come by doing this challenge. So anyways, it's as simple as that, even though all my rambling is making it sound more complicated. It's not. So 30 days of Delulu, a manifestation exercise. Let's do it. We'll see what happens.